Hello and welcome to my second stream, but the first one that will actually end up on VOD as there's this really important checkbox that you have to click. If you've just made a new channel, make sure that you go through and give it permission to save your videos. So I figured let's try out the partial definition of insanity and do a few things the same way that we did before on our very exclusive two-person stream. So today we're going to be dealing again with the absurd challenge. I did not spell this, but I like to assume that it was meant to be pronounced in a fancy manner. As you can see, it is all angles. I'll be here for a little while trying to figure out exactly where to put things. I'll make an occasional commentary, but I like to have a little bit of chill music playing and just chat. I think the first thing that I need to deal with is putting the mailbox somewhere reachable, and I think a perfect spot for it might be hiding it here in this corner of the house that we are not using anyway. Thank you for joining me if you're just arriving, by the way. Appreciate you being here, hanging out and watching the chaos unfold. Alright, first things first, let's get into the construction bit. If you haven't seen the inside of this thing yet, it is a bit of a nightmare. But we are gonna make it through. Let's start by getting ourselves one additional small wall to add to the situation. I'm going to stretch it out to there so that we have our mailbox inside of a cute little cubicle that we will adjust and deal with shortly. The mailbox, of course, needs to be placed outside, so it's not exactly assisted by having a floor in here. We can come back in with possibly bushes or something to do something about that. A shrubbery, perhaps. Let's see here. What if we take our mailbox now? Ah, yes, it was simply inaccessible. So, with that at least temporarily placed, let's start on a door. And maybe skip to something a little more jazzy.
So they do the most, sipping on the lean just to fill the void. so they couldn't find them all. A bunch of thugs sipping on a glass of gin and juice. They all do the same thing, I live rhythm and fools. Yeah, rhythm and fools. Yeah, oh, rhythm and fools. Rhythm and fools. Rhythm and fools. Rhythm and fools. I just dropped a record no one ever would. Try to make it sound like this, you never could. Yeah, paving out the way again. Yeah, y'all can't wait for the weekend. And you have a dream, yeah, yeah. And I go to sleep. You try to sing, yeah, yeah. And I make the beat. And now they coming for me, trying to find a way out. Pressing me, cause they know I got the layout. Under pressure, so they pouring up the alcohol. Pass out in the mansion, so they couldn't find them all. A bunch of thugs sipping on a glass of gin and juice. They all do the same thing, I live rhythm and fools. Yeah, rhythm and fools. Yeah, oh, rhythm and fools. Rhythm and fools. Rhythm and fools. Rhythm and fools. A bunch of thugs sipping on a glass of gin and juice. They all do the same thing, I live rhythm and fools. Yeah, paving out the way again. Yeah, y'all can't wait for the weekend. Yeah, rhythm and fools. Yeah, oh, rhythm and fools. Rhythm and fools. Rhythm and fools. Rhythm and fools.
I think those arches will help open up a nice kitcheny area as we go in. I say nice loosely, there's a lot going on as we first enter here, and I think more arches might be the way to go to deal with that.
gentle. Look at me in the eyes. Don't you lie to me, 'cause I'm your lady. I'll be the river running free to all the oceans of your love. If you can handle me, I'll guide you through my fantasy. I'm fragile like a storm, yeah. I'm strong if you keep me warm. That's how I love. That's how I am. I'm a real woman, true as one can be. I'm a real bad.
I guess we'll put a backdoor of sorts on this situation. Well, I guess it's time to start in on the kitchen, if nothing else. So let's start with surfaces. We know we have kitchen counters available of many different varieties. We'll go fairly basic here. Try to stick with some lighter colors. islands, kitchens. I know I'm going to be doing some maneuvering around with these, so I don't want to pick anything wildly painful to use. Let's see here. And just how far away do you have to be from something to function? Too far. That's fine. We have access to possibly dining tables or similar. We'll check a few of those out. I know there is a cheat that can be used to freely place things. If you know what that one is or want to tell me about it, please feel free. I am all ears. But otherwise, we'll keep fiddling around with this until we find a place to put everything. Obviously, we have a bit of an entryway here. Over here, we have sort of a closet thing going on. So let's start with something fairly easy. I don't know if we can fit something to work as a closet in there, but we could certainly try. We could obviously put a bookshelf in there. A few of them are quite slim. School lockers, probably not the worst option, but, not the best. Let's see here. If we're in that tiny room, unfortunately, this fella is, as I figured, going to be too wide for that situation, and unfortunately will intersect with the door. Also would help if I could see down inside, probably. Well, at least we'll be able to store clothing, right? Yeah, not the best. Definitely not the worst, but we'll store things. This entryway situation over here, I feel like could use a window to open it up a little bit. If we're trying to vaguely match the other windows that we have, which I find is usually the best policy for people not to get too terribly upset over aesthetics. Look at this nice little triptych one that wouldn't look too bad over there. It's a nice open light to the situation. Obviously there's some issues with this corner and doing similar, but we can come back to that shortly. Over in some of these, I'm thinking this is the only closed off one is going to be a bedroom. We probably don't need a window to the outside, essentially alleyway that this house creates. Let's see here. this little room I have previously made a bathroom. Considering doing the same again, I think that would work out alright. This weird little between situation, not quite sure what to do in between there. Is it cheating to seal off that and make a secondary room? I don't know. Would that actually make it worse? Possibly. Well, let's see about fitting a kitchen, gosh, somewhere in this situation here. And let's see here. We can, of course, attempt to fit the fridge in and amongst various other things. The issue, of course, is going to be whenever we roll into the cabinets. Wonder if it would fit here. That is a actually pretty nice spot for it. Little awkward placement, but again, not the worst. Can we move these here? We could. And then we could do a triple window combo. Leaving the fridge at least presentably-ish placed. Maybe we can sneak a trash can in there. We obviously will need a stove somewhere in this room full of shenanigans. Well, we could go up against a window, but that seems like an odd choice. Possibly better than some alternatives. We will set it here for now and keep moving things around, see what we can figure out. For obvious reasons, this is probably a distressing way to be doing this, especially given that it's not going to be quite long enough around some of the corners. So let's grab our stove for just a second. And yeah, without any sort of cheating mods to place some things in there, we of course would be stuck going around the corner. Our other option, of course, being this lovely corner situation here, which we could potentially fit a stove in here, drag the fridge out here. It's definitely not the best setup for a kitchen that I've seen, but so far so good. Give this a twist around. I can almost fit back in there. Set that down for a second, scooch this over, give that a twist. Alright, well that's not the worst looking thing I've ever seen. Certainly could be worse. Let's see here. We have cabinet possibilities. I think these ones are actually kind of nice. Let's see if we can. We could potentially fit a few up here. Apparently there are a broad variety of different colors. Stick with our basic ones for just a second. A little greener than we would like, but we can go back and touch that up. Let's see here. Again, not bad. I like this corner that it did up here. That's nifty. And what is it exactly that you would like to do, strange little corner piece? It seems to be considering going into a spot over here. Let's try that again. Oh, we almost had something there. Alright, not looking too shabby over there. A little strange, but not too shabby. Certainly does love stacking plates, whether or not I necessarily want it to. Alright, let's, okay, we can't move that around as easily anymore. Not a great sign. We'll give that a quick sell. Very interesting that it decided to place itself up on top of the fridge there. Not quite sure what about this environment makes them turn into that, but that's interesting for sure. I think it may just be that corner piece. This may be inconvenient on purpose, perhaps. Huh. Alright, well, let's just try to pick up another one and give it a careful drag that direction. Let's see if we can get it turned the right way before we go over there. And we unfortunately intersect with objects. So we'll go back, grab this one. Spin it around to the correct direction as well. Hopefully. There we go. Alright. Beautiful. And then we'll drag this one over, hopefully without touching the fridge, as it seems to turn everything it touches into its own variety of cabinet, which is a little strange. We could hide a stove in this corner if we were feeling so inclined. As it is, I think I'll move that right there. I think this house might break cabinets, which is an interesting development. Applaud whoever made it for the ingenuity required there. Alright, we're gonna give the stove a spin out. Let's see. Perhaps we're thinking in the wrong direction. Let's see here. If we spin that out, it almost sort of matches up with other things. Won't talk about what's going on behind that stove. Cleaning behind it, nightmare. We then, of course, have the option to spin one of these diagonally, but it will get pretty intersectional in a bad way pretty quickly. Move this little guy, but I only think it can go that far, unfortunately, and I don't think he'll quite fit back in here. Do have the option of putting in some less structural, more aesthetic supports here to help this situation. Fascinating. Alright, let's see if one more of these maybe will fit over in here. And because the cabinet, the answer is of course no. But that is okay. We can just definitely remember how to cancel and just escape. Alright, let's go a little more interesting over here. We've already got a space, so let's see about a more interesting grill space, as it were. Kind of like this little guy for this sort of thing. Very nice. Let's see here. Our window's already intersecting with these, but that is a-okay. Do you come in different varieties? You do. Alright, so that situation. And then in behind here, we'll go in with some paint. I'm thinking something backsplash-ish. Digital's a little excessive for what I'm thinking, but possibly. Kind of like this dream within a dream thing here. Pretty nicely sets off those. We could go a little different, a little closer to the column color. I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna expand out just a little bit so that I remember to come back in and take things out later. Get this, and we'll bring back up our walls. These don't look too bad on this part at all, so we will definitely keep that. We could store some of the kitchenery over in that corner. And still a nightmare in that look part, definitely. Could awkwardly intersect with the wall right there. I'm sure that will cause no issues whatsoever for anyone. I do think we will actually put that there, though. That is a pretty good spot for it. We could add maybe another counter in here. Is there any sort of tall storage that we could do? I know we have shelving units. Obviously probably not the right way to go about that one, but that does fit very nicely in this corner, and so we shall be utilizing it. some nifty bathroom shelves. That's handy. But I am more looking for a touch of a hutch of some variety, perhaps. Now, obviously, I don't think... No, it won't fit here. Place anywhere would be handy at this point, for sure. Okay, and this side is a little too close to a door, apparently. So let's set it out here for just a second and bring our walls up. And just, painful as it is, consider deleting us a door. So that we can fit our little hutch in here up against the wall. Yeah, it's got its issues. But over in here, we'll go ahead and go to construction. And I would like to make some half walls here. Does that get rid of one of the entrances? Yes, but does it also kind of create us a little bar space that we can utilize? Also yes. And it doesn't change the initial floor plan as it was. Oh, that's a nice little faux fireplace facade. And a tall bath cabinet that could be useful later. The protective china cabinet, always beautiful, a little large for what we have here. Presumably. Yeah, even over there it's a little rough. Alright, with our hutch over there, let's grab some lights so we can see what the heck it is that we are doing. Alright, one fully lit house later. Throw one over here for good measure. Alright, and we have all sorts of just situation happening over there. Let's grab our door here. See if we can't scoot it down just a little bit. And then over here, where we have our mega columns. Let's see. Yes, if we can't put one right there. Perfect. We'll grab another one. And I don't know if we can fit it in here, but I would like for it to be in here. And the brief answer is no. But let's move this just out of the way for a second. Thank you, Hutch. Interestingly, it does look like we can do a little bit of a situation there. I think ultimately just getting it to fit right there is going to be the major problem. Because obviously we'll go to this one right here, but not here. Because of some beautiful angles by the original designer, and again, kudos for making it nearly impossible. Which is what it was meant to be, so good job. Alright, let's roll back into our surfaces real quick, and back in the counter situation, what if, past in mild desperation, what if we presumably ignore that cabinet and grab this one that matches a little better, or something similar, such as the vault ones. Do they have one that matches this a little bit more appropriately? That's actually really nice. I enjoy that. Alright. Yes, they do. And so you can do this a couple of different ways. We could roll it out so that it double islands on both sides. I kind of like the way that that looks. It does take up a fair amount of space. And especially if you don't actually hook it up to the previous island. Let's lower down some floors so we can see what it is that we're doing here. Ah, we've got corner pieces, you see. Okay, then we have a little bit further out of an island there. I do like that. Keeps it away from the doors. Jams it into a corner, unfortunately, but you'll have that. Let's see about some bar stools that would kind of give us a placeholder idea of where things will be. Kind of like this little domestic satellite situation, so I think we'll set up with a few of those. So they're on this breakfast counter style side. If we want more room in the kitchen, which frankly we probably do, we can grab a few of these from this side. And we'll give it a quick twist. Give a little bit more counter space on that side as it hops over to here. We can also adjust our half walls to match just a little bit better, I think. Alright, it's not the most matchy thing I've seen, but I think it'll work for the moment. Kind of enjoying my column there. Let's grab the paint swatch and see if we can make this door a little more palatable. The answer likely being no, but that is okay, because we can grab a different door. So we'll sell this little guy, and we'll go here. There we go. A little bit more matching of a door. See, we've also got wide entry frames, but I don't actually think that'll fit in there. And it will. Surprise. Let's see here. Something that matches our color a little bit better in there. Lots of taupes happening. Get rid of our old stove and our secondary cabinets. and whatever is happening with these ones to be green and these ones to be white. Just a little odd. Go ahead and darken those up a little bit to match everything else. Same with this hutch out here. We'll put that right back outside until we need it, I suppose. And yes, I am shoving a fridge all the way back in the corner because, well, frankly, I don't know where else to put it at this point. But that does mean that we can put our stove here in this little catty corner situation. And it looks like we can just almost fit this tiny little trash can in there. For the time being, we'll just put him right there up against the wall. Fine, nobody needs him. And let's see if we can't continue this shelving situation while also getting some possible stove exhaust going. Finally, perfect trash can placement. The goal we all aim for. Right, we still have our stove situation over in here. Much as I enjoy our hutch, I think it is a little too bathroom themed for the situation. Little man pedestal. That's funny. Alright, let's see here. We could go with more shelving here underneath of these windows, possibly. Or, possibly move some of the modular counters to match up over here. For obvious reasons, that has issues. That definitely puts things at an awkward angle. Right, that still leaves that there. That's not the worst shape that I've ever seen. We could, of course, go full shelving over here and get rid of some of these, but I kind of need somewhere to put a sink. Suppose I could go in under here, especially if I were to remove this little guy. And then I could sell this and potentially move this stove here. We'll come back to stoves. Don't have to be sold on one 100%. I just really would like a functional one. We do have, of course, alternative means of cooking should we feel inclined. Every variety of storage and throwaway thing for the kitchen. Of course, I could just install a microwave and, forget about it. And while we probably won't do that solely, it is not a terrible idea to try to hide one in here, somewhere. Let's see here. We can't quite fit it up on top of these by the looks of it. Probably because of the shelving. So if I take the shelving away for just a second. Oh, a dishwasher, that's nice. Let's see. We had chosen this little fella here. And that would be about the closest we can fit him to the wall, seemingly. Move this again. Huh. It really does want to only point towards the very outer edges of things. Which is unfortunate, but it will be alright. We'll sell our excess shelf for the moment. Go ahead and deposit a dishwasher on that side, make our future Sims life possibly slightly more convenient. Then we have sort of this open thing over here, and I kind of just want to sell that and grab a few more of these wide entry frames to see if we can't possibly fit another at least small one in here. We even have prairie style gates. It looks like one could possibly fit down there, but it might have some issues because of the shelving amongst other things. So briefly at least, we will get rid of our shelving once more. This does not really want to fit there, I don't think. No. We of course have the pointless renovation ones. They would require a taller height, but worth noting. We could raise the ceiling in here slightly if we would like to. That does, of course, raise the ceilings of everything else around it, but, you know, hey, what are you gonna do? Always nicer to have your Sims in a slightly taller building, right? Let's see, that still would not open up that for us, unfortunately, but it looks like the rest of them are at least somewhat accepting of it. Okay. Still not even quite wide enough for a narrow post and lintel because of that odd little corner in there. So let's see if we can't find some odds and ends for that corner. We love a corner piece that we can possibly store in one of these, but it's still not quite skinny enough to fit in there, unfortunately. Almost have a functional kitchen here. A few more touches and I think it'll be basically ready to be used. Of course, it's got its various issues, but we will get some of those figured out as we go. We can fit another cabinet above our cabinets, but not another cabinet with our cabinets, if you catch my drift. I hope you don't. It sounds a little off the wall. think aside from some finishing touches of curtains and other functional necessities, it's almost good. Probably want to get rid of the microwave and stash a quick sink in here while I'm here. Like this kind of fun copper color, so we'll just put him off to the corner there. We'll, of course, store a fire alarm somewhere nearby, just in case the unthinkable, quote unquote, happens with the Sims. Let's see, we of course have our cabinets. Do we have... Well, obviously we have curtains. But do we have curtains? Appropriate ones for the kitchen can be hard to come by. Let's see, we've got some lovely classic curtains there. Enjoy the royal wedding swag, but it may be a bit much for a kitchen. Just possibly. May also not play super well with our columns. So for the moment, we will get rid of our columns and return to them when we are capable. Because for the moment, we need to find something to put next to our lovely little stove here. I think surfaces are the way to go. Let's check out an accent table or two. Okay, we can kind of weirdly fit this in if we want. Doesn't quite fit the way that we want or need it to, but you know it is awfully close. Let's return to cabinets briefly and such. I don't think we really want to put too much in this section over here just because of the curve it has to make to get in. There you have it, at least one functional room within this situation. Obviously, we'll have to come back for the other rooms, so I would love to hear some suggestions on what the heck to put in some of them. Obviously, we need the basics: bedroom, bathroom, somewhere to cook, and we're mostly there on somewhere to cook, so effectively, briefly at least, hidden our mailbox inside of a future to-be window situation. We might consider putting a doorway on that just to see if it'll let us real quick before we go. So we'll grab our mailbox so we don't lose it accidentally. Let's grab our wall tool. We'll go here and make a sealed off little section. Come down here and find that one really skinny door frame, which does let it open up, so maybe. Grab it, and no, because that makes it effectively inside, I believe. But somehow we can still pick it up and put it inside like this, and that is fine. We could probably potentially put something around it there that wouldn't affect the mailbox as severely. Let's grab this shindig real quick. And we'll give it just a little bit of raised roomage. Maybe we'll lower it down by one so we don't have Sims having an absolute problem. There we go. Only one step down out of the mildly scary room. It'll be fine. But that will let us grab one of these situations here. Which we don't want to be quite that broad because we need to be able to fit it to the front of our house. Alright, with that we have a little patio built. We can kind of push it into these subsections, but not too much without deleting a few things that we don't necessarily need to. Let's drag this back to here so it matches up with our edge, and we have kind of effectively squared an edge there. Let's grab some railing for our little porch situation that we've created, just so we kind of know where it is later. That. Grab a little gateway. Put one out here. And if there's a fancy kind of double gateway situation, which there is, I might not have enough room for it to be 100%. Oh, no, we do. We could definitely use that. Put it out there to make it annoying and make people have to, walk around unless they're using the side gate. Well, it's already a pretty chaotic looking house, so I think that is a really good place to kind of call this shindig until we come back in and start upon yet another one of these room situations. Maybe add some more construction. Who knows? Any number of things could occur between now and then. I hope you've had a lovely evening. If you've stuck around for this long, thank you so very much for being here. I will see you pretty soon.